Hey, what's going on YouTube? This is your boy Jamar4 here once again, and I finally got a chance to, get caught up with this week's Real Housewives of, of Atlanta. Sorry, I'm burping a whole lot. I just ate my breakfast. I had me some grits, bacon. What the fuck is bacon? Grits, bacon, and eggs, and it's just got me all fucked up and burpy and gassy and shit. But anyway, that's not what we're here to talk about. This latest episode of Real Housewives of Atlanta, it was kind of man, it was almost just like a reprise of last week, just kind of like the aftermath and the recovery process of last week. But next week looked like this shit's gonna be good. I don't know where they at or what they're doing. I think they're somewhere in Miami. And then there was that fine ass trade that came up on the screen. I was here for it. And then I don't know if he acting a fool. It looked like Kenya was pissed off at him for saying something disrespectful, and shit got wild, and it's gonna be good. But this week, it was kind of just like, okay, we saw more of the fight between Portia and Cynthia, and we saw where she actually kicked Portia in the cooch, or the uterus, whatever area, that whole general abdominal area. And was that the producer? Did the producer literally hop on top of Portia and suffocate her like a wild animal? I'm like, why is she... Okay. But she was still going off, twisting, fighting, doing everything just until she got tired and gave up. And Kim is over there. Poor Kim feels is getting emotional. She's like, I just don't know how this is supposed to be. I just, I'm not used to this, and I just hate to see that. Which, Kim comes from a different, what do I want to call it? Do I want to call it a background? She comes from just a different walk of life when dealing with certain types of women. She's used to probably the older soul. I feel like she was probably raised by, older women. And she just this is all just foreign to her. Like, seeing people fight it out and get physical is just like, oh my God, to her. And I'm just like, baby, all she wanted to do was come up on the damn lake with her Tupperware snacks and her book. She's so innocent, but this is not what you signed up for, baby. What you witnessed on this boat right here, this is classic. This is something that we expect to see, it's just, we expect this. Now, I don't know what shit they got left that's gonna catch us off guard, but stuff like this shit, dealing with especially anything with the Real Housewife franchise, this is nothing. This is nothing compared to some of the shit we've seen, so... Poor baby Kim, and then next week we see Kim is in full on tears. She just feel like, she just bawling out. I'm just like, oh Lord, you getting broke in now, shit. If you tried to say how much you weren't being in the industry before, you getting broke in now, bitch. You seeing everything close up and personal. But the whole time while Cynthia and them, they separated, they steaming and doing whatever. Kenya's talking to Cynthia. Portia's getting held down like a wild wildebeest. And her friend is over there crying, Shamia and shit. She just like, just making the ugliest face. And then here comes Candy and, who was it? Candy, Sheree, and who else was a neutral party there? I can't remember who else was there. They was like, I just don't know what the hell going on. Oh, Kim. I don't know what the hell going on. And then here comes Cynthia's friend, Tammy. Apparently she was in the bathroom the whole time, and she said she was hearing screams and shit, and I guess she just decided, shit, I ain't even gonna be a part of that. She's like, I ain't even about to get involved, bitch. And she's like, she didn't even bother to come up to see if her friend was okay. Hell, her friend could be getting stabbed by the goddamn Freddy Krueger or some shit. You don't know. Your friend up there screaming. You want to go and at least check it out. Don't be hiding in the goddamn bathroom. Like, what the fuck? Anywho, Portia, when she's at home with her, was it her friend? Yeah, it was a friend and her mom, I believe. And she was showing where she got bruised or whatever and cut on her arm and such. Now, I feel like if it was any other mama, I feel like that mama would have been a little bit more enraged and ready to whoop Cynthia's ass because you touched my child. But she was just kind of like, oh my God, that's so crazy. I'm like, girl, mama, hello? This bitch kicked me in my cooch. Hello? Oh, let me close that out. Like, you that's all you had to say to me? That this is crazy or something nonchalant that she said? I'm just like, all right. She ain't worried, neither should I. But, Portia started to get emotional when she said, all this time, the whole day, I was supportive of you. I understood what your underlying issue was with your husband because I went through the same thing. And, I just been trying to keep everything lighthearted. And even though I came and apologized, I tried to emphasize that what I said and the way that I said it was not to be harmful or, to be disrespectful or anything. So for me to have done all of that, but yet you still feel the need to kick me in my puss with your high heel stiletto boot on, bitch. She was like, oh no, this bitch tried it. So that's what made her pissed off. She was like, I'm doing all this shit for you and you gonna do this shit to me, bitch? Nope. And that's when she got heated. And so you see different people, like Candy's talking to, I believe, Todd about the situation. Kenya's talking to her aunt and her cousin about the situation. Everybody just has given their own little viewpoint and recaps of what happened. So then we get to this quick little segment about Candy and her baby. Because, she was going in for the little doctor's appointment, whatever, and they're showing her, the baby just to make sure the baby's okay. And so far, so good. He's all right. And, they're really, really hoping for a boy. So they're trying to put that into the atmosphere. And I don't know if she's I guess she's still pregnant. Because I want to say from trying to get the timeline of where this is going, I think this is stuff that happened in like September. So if she was like, what, 4 months at the time, she should be about to have this baby sometime in January, probably. If the timeline goes, if she's as pregnant as I think she is. But yeah, they're hoping for a boy because they both already have daughters, so it'll be kind of good to switch things up. So I'm rooting for Candy and Todd. So far so good. Everything looks all good. So lastly, while Kenya was, talking with her aunt and her cousin about this whole situation, she, her aunt suggests, well, why don't you try to set up some sort of a brunch, okay? Set up something to cut, so another event so that you can kind of showcase, okay, this is how we're supposed to deal with, negative situations. Invite everybody, invite Portia, invite Phaedra, since she's a part of this group too, and just try to hash things out, while they're fresh so that you can knock them out the park because you don't want anything to linger on too far and whatever. I'm like, okay, cool. And then so Kenya says she wants to meet up with Portia first before the brunch to, I guess, get her whole standpoint on, whatever. So when they meet up, I was confused by the flow of this particular conversation because Kenya was saying, from the way that I understood it, she was basically saying, what Cynthia did was wrong, and there were parts of what you did that were wrong. And she was saying, well, I know how you can get, how defensive you can get because of our situation that we had. And so, I just want to throw this, get together so that we can come together and make peace with blah, blah, blah. That's what I was getting. I felt like Kenya was saying, I know how you get, bitch, because you did the same thing to me. So, and I'm not saying that Cynthia was completely in the right because that's my friend. She was wrong too. But there are some things that I guess I feel like you did wrong. And so I just want to kind of get your perspective from that. But yet Portia was taking it in an offensive way. And she was like, you know what? I know you don't have my best interest at heart. And I'm just not even about to sit here and let you sit here and say all this shit to me about me being this, that, and the fourth. And I'm like, but it was kind of true though. So, did you not want to hear about yourself? I'm just trying to figure out like what the problem was. You know what I'm saying? But she took it all weird and shit. I'm just like, girl, all right. So we get to this actual brunch, and Kim is there first, and then I think Candy shows up next, and she's like, oh, you're already here? And she's like, yeah, because everybody told me to get here at such and such time, and ain't nobody else here. I got shit to do. And I'm just like, I'm the same exact way. I hate when people set up something and say be here at a certain time and people be on that CP time and I'm sitting there waiting for shit to start. I hate that. I like to be, punctual. Is that the word? Is that punctual? Well, I like to be timely with my shit. I like for stuff to start at a certain time that it's said it's supposed to start. So I was feeling Kim with that shit, especially if you are trying to do something later on that day and this thing is, being delayed and I gotta wait later for shit. I gotta post off shit. You just throws off my whole fucking schedule. Okay, so I was understanding. I was here with Kim with that shit. But Phaedra comes in and Sheree comes in, the whole gang is getting there, and then we get Cynthia to come in, and Kim is like, you know what? We're just gonna address the elephant in the room. So, how are you? What's up? Like, where's your head at? What's all this? And Cynthia went to the, I felt like I was disrespected, and I talked to her with Peter, and blah 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 blah. So it's like while she's in the midst of explaining, Kenya and Portia walk in together, and Phaedra was like, Kenya and Portia walk in together, like together, smiling. It was kind of weird. And so, of course, it was a little awkward silence. And it was just like, Portia was like, do you want to go talk? We can go do what we need to do. And they went to their little separate ways. And the other girls were kind of peeping in the hole, like, I hope this talk goes better than the last time. Because the last time they went off and talked to each other, shit broke out in the World War III. So we're going to hope better for this time. And pretty much the conversation went like, Portia said, hey, I just wanted to say, look, this is what I was trying to do. This is how you took it. I didn't understand why you took it this way when I kept trying to explain my intentions. And that, I could tell you, a part of me, when she broke it down like that, I was like, you know what? When you're in a situation like that, really actually the same situation as Portia, because I've been in something similar to that where I said something, of course not to be hurtful or intended to be shady or anything, but I said something that somebody else didn't like and they took it the wrong way. And so I tried to, and I explained fully. I said, okay, well, I didn't mean it this way because of X, Y, Z, elemental P. And I explained it very well. There was no room for confusion or misunderstanding, but yet the other person still felt the need to be combative about it and defensive. And so when you sit there and try to break stuff down to somebody and they still choose to just be ignorant, that's when that shit gets frustrating, and that's where that fighting spirit can come out, because it's just like, bitch, I know you understand what the fuck I'm trying to say, but yet you gonna sit here and still act a goddamn fool is gonna piss me off. So I get that. So that's where Portia was like, look, I didn't understand why you weren't getting what I was putting down, but if an apology is what it's gonna take to get us back on the table, then okay, it's out there. It's on the table, bitch. There it is. And Cynthia, long story short, it was like, I mean, I felt some sort of a way, and if that's what you want to do, then we can go there. But something I've noticed, and I think I've said this before with Cynthia, it frustrates me when she talks, because watching her talk, she's gonna do this 1,000 times, and each word has to be emphasized with open hands, and it just starts to get annoying to look at after a whole hour. I'm like, if I see Cynthia bend her head down and do like this one more goddamn time, well, damn. Oh, you know what? Since y'all want to see Rue, I got Rue a new outfit. Come here, Rue. Don't you run your ass away from me. Come here. You show the people your outfit. And he got a new little haircut. Ugh. See, don't he look nice? See them cut his ears short. Ain't he pretty? See, now you can see his eyes and everything. He ain't got all that little nasty looking underbelly. And I got him this little jacket for the winter time. Show it on the back. I'm showing you off like your child. I know what it feels like to be a mama now. And he got the little hoodie on the back with the bone. And it just goes up his body like that. Ain't that cute? He looked like a little man. But yeah, anyway, that was pretty much the episode, you guys. And like I said, it was pretty much just like a reprise of what happened last week, trying to get back on the same foot with that after that whole fight. But next week looked like that's just gonna be interesting. But that was pretty much the video. It's pretty much really short, really straight to the point. But thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys later on for the Love and Hip Hop Hollywood Reunion Part 2 later on tonight. All right, guys. Peace out.